to know what goes into being one of the pros in the entertainment industry.
Ask me questions
On Ask a Pro, on the Stir Up with me, Miss Cosmo.
Let's believe it's going.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another really awesome interview that I'm doing from my house because, of course, COVID. On the Stir Up, I am chatting to Universal Urban A&R DJ Vigilante. He's going to give us the lowdown about his job, what it entails, and exactly why he is an A&R. And of course, I'm getting a lot of my questions from our listeners, and I decided to kind of start something new. So welcome to Ask a Pro. And our pro for today, VJ.
Y'all make me feel special. Ask a Pro. Damn. I
Yes,
have made it, eh?
because you're the first pro that we got in the game for the show. You know what I mean?
Oh, damn. Thank you very much. I need a round of applause. Okay.
So I want to, get into the details as to what exactly is an A&R. What is your role at Universal Music?
A&R, the definition for A&R is artist and repertoire. So what an A&R does, A&R basically is the guy who has the relationship between the artist and the record label, right? So the A&R is the guy who's sort of responsible for putting pieces together for the artist. So an artist will tell you their wish, and we as the A&R are supposed to make come through. You're supposed to put pieces together, make sure that everything is aligned, make sure that you've got the right producers, you've got the right studio engineers, you've got the right writers, you've got the right composers, and songwriters, just to make everything come alive for the artist. That cool, we've delivered A, B, and C, and we make sure that the paperwork is done properly.
That's dope. So that's actually quite a detailed job, and people don't really see it as something as that intense. So you're practically like a mini manager of the artists, correct?
Yeah. It's basically a mini manager of the artist and the record label. So it's managing the artist with the record label together, but also extends to a point where A&R is a person who's supposed to scout new talent. So I can literally sign up somebody who I see potential with and actually groom them within the music industry to say, dude, this is the steps we're going to take to make you blow.
Nice, very nice. So how did you become an A&R for Universal?
I received the call when they're like, yo, we need you, we need your ears, we need your expertise.
So VJ's got the expertise, huh?
No. So with my old manager, my previous manager, he's a guy we used to talk about with music, and I used to tell him, yo, this thing is over. This is you. This is person. This is bubbling. This is the new trend. And he always used to pick up and say, yo, you've got the ear. You see this thing's coming a mile away. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I just think I pick it up and I'm saying this is where the market is shifting to, or this is where the market should shift to, because this is the kids that are bubbling under and it's going that direction, or this is where the music is leading with the trends around worldwide. So that's when they're like, cool, come through, help us, and let's see what we can do. And it's what I've done. I've done it by all means, not the best.
All right. So with those artists that you continuously keep your eye on, what is the process that you kind of take to sign an artist to a label? Is it that an artist kind of comes to the label and says, yo, pick me? Or is it rather a process of you spotting the talent and then signing them to the label?
I think in this day and age, especially with what we're living in right now in the modern society, you are able to pick up artists. I always say that your music is your CV, right? The way you move is your CV to be noticed out there. Especially now, we live in a digital era where things can be done easily. You've got the tool. Social media is not a playground, but it's a tool that you take advantage of and to be noticed. It's about how you plug yourself in, and that's where you get noticed, where the A&Rs will pick you up and say, yo, this kid is hot, this kid is moving like this, and I'm enjoying the music.
So do you think a young up-and-coming artist still get signed to labels, or do you think they need to rather go the independent route, or do you think labels are still the way to go for somebody who is new on the scene?
Truth be told, and I've always said this, right? It depends on where you want to go with your brand as an artist, right? You could have the talent, but for me, talent doesn't really push you to the edge. But if you are financially stable to say, I'm going to move like this and place myself like this, then hey, do it that way. At the end of the day, it's where you see yourself and what your vision is. If you just see yourself as just a recording studio artist, I just want to put out songs on iTunes and that's it, and boom, then that's it. But if you say, yo, I want to be a superstar, I want to be on the continent level, I want to make sure that I am known in South Africa, become a household name brand. So you need people, you need a team behind you to say, cool, this is how we want to make you move, and this is the move, and do it all together.
I hear you. All right, so with your job, do you find that you do a lot more nurturing of up-and-coming artists, or do you see yourself signing a lot more established artists who need the assistance of a label?
It's 50-50. Maybe not 50-50. It's 60-40. That obviously
Where's
do
the
have
60?
artists. The 60s with the artists that are already existing and the artists that are there that would need help. Like, yo, I need to do A, B, and C. Please help me. If you're not known and I believe in you, trust me, I'll go for you.
Ooh, okay. So you've got your eye on the prize. So if I'm an up and coming artist and I'm trying to get the attention of VG so that VG can then hold me and basically nurture me to be the ultimate artist at the label, what do I need to present to you for you to then say, let's get to work?
It's good music. It's music that separates you from everyone else. From the moment you press play, the vital is those first 30 seconds, I want to say, are vital, right? You're able to pick up something from 10 seconds that you're going to skip or you're going to carry on listening. So those first 30 seconds need to capture somebody. That's why I say don't copy and paste other artists. Always be true to yourself and offer something different to the market.
That makes a lot of sense. Do you think, as an independent artist, I would be able to sustain a brand on my own without the assistance of a label?
As mentioned, it depends where you want to go, right? Labels can also play the part. I know that we do it on our side of saying, this is the international exposure we can give you, right? This is the point where we draw your brand and you say, this is what we're trying to achieve with this brand. And this is the record label that we have in France. And this is how we want to do and move you on the grounds of it. So it depends. If you are able to make your connections and move like that, then hey, that's good, you know?
But having a strategy and having a plan is one thing. What's important about having a holistic brand? Because I find a lot of people speak about having the X factor. How important is it for all facets to kind of connect together? And what do you think is the most important facet outside of the music to connect you to the people?
Imaging, definitely. The way you present yourself is definitely correct. The way you market yourself, the way you move, right? That is very important because it sets you different from the rest of what everyone else is doing. Because people literally need to remember you from your last performance, or people need to remember you from the last image they saw.
Yeah, I see that all the time actually, where sometimes I cringe a little bit when I see people on stage and I'm just like, ish, stage presence, not so much. The music, 100%, but if you're not able to kind of sell it to the crowd, then that becomes a little bit of a barrier with regards to getting the music across.
If you're trying to sell something, you have to sell it for someone to believe in it.
That's so true. Who's your favorite performer in South Africa right now?
Right now, I haven't seen anyone perform. When is the lockdown?
I'm not even gonna ask you internationally. I know internationally you're gonna throw in the Kendrick thing, and we don't want to hear
Definitely.
that right now.
Buhle Bendalo. Beautiful.
Why?
Her imaging. It's just the energy and the presence that she has on the stage that you want to get into it and you buy it. You're like, wow, this is beautiful.
Do you think majority of the music that we get here in South Africa is ready to compete on a global scale?
Definitely. We've been competing on a global scale from ages ago.
From a hip-hop perspective, because sometimes I also feel as though maybe some of our hip-hop doesn't necessarily travel as far as maybe say our other African counterparts.
I think we had it correctly. If you guys remember, there was an era where someone went to Sway, right?
Yeah.
And they kicked the freestyle, and he's got the number one freestyle, which is Questa.
Yeah.
By the way, he got the number one freestyle out of everybody. So I think we had it correctly, you know, and it's just now how obviously now over COVID, really slowed us down. But it's about how guys want to position themselves and how they want to sound to the world that will capture people's ears and people to say, yo, who is this and what do they do?
All right, so VG, you being an A&R in South Africa, there's obviously a lot of politics, a lot of things that you kind of have to deal with on a daily basis. What is it about the music industry that you want to be able to change with your position?
I would love to change how consumers see or value music. Stop supporting piracy, stop buying CDs from those guys Estrateni who sell it. You know what I mean? It's really wrong because at the end of the day, there's an artist who right now is probably not able to feed his family, and that's because you've taken away that good $100 away from his pocket.
Just on a rough estimate, how much is it to put an entire album together? Just so people understand the value of the music.
It works different for different artists. For one song, right? Get a production team. You're probably looking at something between 5 to 20,000 rands for a beat. If you are getting a songwriter as well, you're probably looking at anything from 5 to 20,000 as well. Mixing 3K for the 3. Mastering another 1,000 rand, which is 44. Then you still have to do a photo shoot and your artwork. So now you're looking at 48,000, and you still have to do your photo shoot and everything. So depending if you're a female, obviously there's the hair, the makeup, you know, and it's more costly. So that's why we have to support everybody by all means. Right?
Can you give us more budgets?
so maybe for a song, you're probably looking at plus minus 50 to 60K.
Sure, that's one song.
One song, could be one song. One album could literally cost you anything from 80 to 200 or 300,000 rands.
Wow. All right, VG, just to wrap it up on this video, I just wanted to know what's the legacy that you want to leave in the music and entertainment space of South Africa?
I've got so many, but I'm one person that I didn't want just to become a DJ only. I wanted to become an authoritative of the music culture that we have, that this guy was just more than a DJ. This guy was a curator. This guy was an A&R. This guy was a director. He was a music exec, you know. That's the legacy I want to leave behind, that I've taken African music, whatever that we can, and we've exported it to the world.
Okay. So you want to be the guy to say, I made sure that happened.
Definitely. And what I want to do, I want to help out the young to take them out to the world and just change lives.
Shout outs to you, VG. Hopefully we can witness you changing the world in the music and entertainment industry. And we're loving your work that you're doing. And shout outs to you for putting on the young ones, because I think the youth is where it's at, and that's what we need to make sure we give them a platform.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cosmo.
Thank you for joining me. And this here is 5FM TV.
5FM. Watch 5FM TV on YouTube.
5FM.